Hello, welcome to gusmcdoll Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign, in Close Combat 4, the Battle of the Bulge. And we use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. This is the strategic map. It is 0800 on December 16, 1944, and the weather is overcast. US forces have no air support, no artillery, and no supply drops. The last battle was at Zimmerath, between the US 14th Cavalry Group and the German Kampfgruppe Piper from 1st Panzer Division. It was a decisive American victory. The next battle is at Udenbreth, between the US 424th RCT 106th Division and the German 3rd Fallschirmjager Division. Commander, the German attack has taken us by surprise, but Udenbreth must be kept in our control if we are to stop their advance and cut off their supplies from Berlin. Sticking to the town with its multi-story buildings is advisable so that you can see the enemy coming. However, leaving a small force in the woods to the south might take the enemy by surprise. On the US side is an American infantry battle group from the 424th Infantry Regiment under command of Captain Morgan. It moves slowly and reserves are nearly depleted. The company consists of 3 platoons. First platoon is infantry, second platoon is also infantry, and third platoon is a mix of anti-tank guns and support weapons. I will swap the scouts from second platoon with the medium machine gun from third platoon. Let's rename the squads off camera for ease of reference. Now, let's review each of the squads. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters. 1-2 is a BAR squad. 1-3 is a Rifle squad. 1-4 is an M9 bazooka team. 1-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 2-2 is a BAR squad. 2-3 is a Rifle squad. 2-4 is a recon team. 2-5 is an M9 bazooka team. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters. 3-2 is a 57mm anti-tank gun. 3-3 is a 57mm anti-tank gun. 3-4 is an 81mm medium mortar. And 3-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to guard against an enemy advance through Udenbreth. The village of Udenbreth lies at the crossroads formed by roads to Zimmerath in the north, Baugnez in the west, Monkschau and Lochheim in the south, and the Reich in the east. Thick woods dominate the eastern approaches to the village, with open fields to the north, west, and south. The village itself is a collection of 1-, 2-, and 3-story stone and wooden buildings. The buildings provide excellent observation and fire over the surrounding fields, but this is limited to the edge of the woods. The village buildings also provide concealment to infantry and good cover, with stone walls indicated in grey and wooden walls indicated in brown on the tactical map. The woods provide excellent concealment for infantry to approach within small arms range of the village. However, the thick woods are a barrier to vehicle movement, meaning any tanks or armoured vehicles are likely to stick to the main roads. Key terrain therefore includes the road to the east, which is vital to vehicle movement, and 3 of the multi-story village buildings, as these offer command of the approaches to the village. Avenues of approach to the village include along the road, through the northern woods, and through the southern woods. The Germans might conduct a frontal assault by infantry moving through the woods against the east face of the village. Or they could make a right flanking attack against the north face of the village. Or they could make a left flanking attack against the south face of the village. In all cases, the attack might be supported by half-tracks moving along the road. And mortars or indirect fire from the rear could suppress the defenders or fire smoke to cover the assault. So, the Americans should set up killing zones in the open fields to the north, east, and south of the village. The first course of action is for the Americans to construct a fairly standard defensive position centered on the village. First platoon would take the right flank or southern half of the village. Second platoon would take the left flank or northern half of the village. Scouts would occupy the two-story building forward of the main line of resistance, or MLR, to give early warning of German vehicles along the road, then withdraw on contact through the position. The two 57mm anti-tank guns would be sighted to fire along the main roads and into the open fields as a primary mission, with a supplementary mission to cover the flanks. This is a solid defensive plan. The only drawbacks are that the Americans will not have much early warning of the infantry, and that the 57mm anti-tank guns will be using frontal fire against any vehicles. The second course of action is quite similar. First and second platoons would take the same positions in the village, covering the southern and northern halves of the village respectively. But instead of remaining to the rear within the position, third platoon would occupy a position on the left flank. The two 57mm anti-tank guns would be positioned to fire into the flanks of any vehicles advancing along the road. This would leave one of the anti-tank guns outside the defensive position and vulnerable. This gun would be covered by a combat outpost to the east and scouts further east. The scouts would observe down the road to give better early warning of infantry and vehicles moving west, and withdraw to the north on contact. This plan provides better early warning of infantry and flanking fire on vehicles, but places much of 3rd Platoon at greater risk. I have made my decision and have placed the platoons and squads in position. And so we begin. Panzer, to the east, with infantry following behind. This is a job for 3-2, one of the 57mm anti-tank guns in 3rd Platoon. The tank is immobilized. And destroyed. The German Fallschirmjager go to ground as they emerge from the woods. More infantry in the woods to the north. And an anti-tank gun on the road. The American mortar targets the German Panzerabwehrkanone, or anti-tank gun. 2-4, the recon squad in the north, is returning fire. It has done its job of providing early warning of the German attack. German scouts move into the open ground. The Browning 30 caliber in 1st Platoon opens up. The US company goes to ground.
Sergeant!
The recon team is under mortar fire and takes a casualty. Time to leave. Private Denny is killed as they withdraw. Cooper drops to the ground to crawl away. .33, the second anti-tank gun, opens fire on the advancing Germans. But only draws mortar fire. The Americans remain hidden and allow the Germans to advance into open ground.
Team redeployed!
The Browning 30 caliber in the rear opens up. The rest of 1st Platoon joins in. Platoon fire shifts.
Yawn! Lieutenant! Nailed it!
Platoon now shifts fire to suppress a heavy machine gun. The Germans are using smoke to blind the American firing positions. 1st platoon has wiped out a German platoon without loss, and goes to ground. A 2nd German platoon continues the assault. More German troops move up. 1st platoon resumes the defence.
Team redeployed.
Serving ammunition!
The 2nd wave is defeated. Another abrupt transition. Total American victory. The battle ended because the Germans' force morale got too low and they were forced to retreat off the map. The Americans gained control of the map and the German battle group was forced to disband. The Americans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Germans. The Americans took 1 killed and 1 wounded, both in the recon team. The Germans took 27 killed, 11 wounded, and 1 tank destroyed. Let's examine the American squads. Staff Sergeant Horrigan is awarded the Silver Star and Corporal Farley the Combat Infantryman's Badge. PFC Emmons and Williams share credit for the tank kill. So far, the campaign remains a decisive American victory. So, what did we learn? First, the recon position was effective in providing early warning of the German infantry attack in the north, as well as locating the anti-tank gun. However, recon seems a little dangerous. I might need to watch that. Second, the benefits of a well laid out defensive position with a defined killing zone and interlocking arcs of fire. By waiting until the Germans entered the killing zone, the Americans destroyed 2 platoons largely without loss, and retained Udenbreth. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. And stay tuned for the next episode.